Hi friends, it's Sarah, the owner and maker behind Multifarious Nature. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you're a new viewer, welcome. And if you're a returning viewer, big welcome back. I'm glad you guys are here for another episode. It'll be another short one. I'm just going to give you that right away up front here. And yeah, you'll see why in a moment. So first of all, how are you? How are you doing? Are you doing well these days? We actually have snow, and there's actually some snow coming down right now. I don't think we're going to get any measurable snow today. Today is Friday, February 16th, but it is snowing. I didn't think it was supposed to snow today, but we did get some snow the other day. Actually, I'm pretty sure it was on Valentine's Day, February 14th. We actually got like about 5 inches of snow, but it was very wet snow, so it's very compacted. It's not going to stick around. Next week's going to be nice and warm. I think 40s and 50s. For this time of year, that is very warm for here in Michigan. So I'm excited for it. I am just mentally on spring. I am prepared for it. I love spring and summer, and I do like winter in its own right, but I'm just ready for grass and color again. I'm really excited to see color. So as far as works in progress today, you guys, my works in progress, I have a finished object. And the works in progress and the finished object are one and the same. That is why this video is going to be so short. I might as well just dedicate the video to Andrea Mowry of Andrea Knits, her pattern, the Birch Pullover. So that is what I did. I finished my Birch Pullover. I'm so excited. I focused on that. That's all I worked on this whole week. I have a lot more things going on this week too. Again, it's just been a kind of a whirlwind the past couple weeks. So this is really all I've been working on, aside from getting ready for sheep. That's our other thing that we've been working on. So I'll get into the sheep end of things a little bit at the end, but let's just talk about the Birch Pullover, shall we? It is done, almost. Like, I just have to block it. I literally cast it off, bound it off. The second sleeve, I bound off the second sleeve moments ago, so it is freshly finished. I used Old Mill yarn. They are out of Allegan, Michigan, and it's a beautiful warm gray color. I pulled out my lifeline, so that has been pulled out, so you can kind of see where the lifeline was. Kind of this little bit of a halo here, so that's what blocking will be good for. It'll hopefully relax all of these stitches, so that way there's not any definitive lines anymore. I also do want to go in, if there's anywhere where I kind of snagged anything, I'm going to go through with my needle and just kind of stretch it back out, so that way everything gets kind of nicely laid out before I block it, and then I'll block it, and then I can wear it, and I'm really excited. So I tried it on. It fits very well. It's definitely more cropped than I normally wear my sweaters, but I do have a sweater similar length, and I always wear it with a white t-shirt underneath, and that's just gonna way I'll probably wear this one too, is a white t-shirt underneath, which is totally fine. I'm not big on having my midriff show. Even if I was in a little bit better physical shape, I don't think I'd want my midriff showing. But if I did, this would be fine. It's perfectly fine. It hits right up below my pant line, but it's like right there. So if I lift up at all, it will show my tummy, which I'm not a big fan of for myself. But I love it. I love it. This pattern was so wonderful to make. The sleeves fit perfect. They hit right at my wrist. My goal next video will be to actually wear this. I didn't want to wear it until I blocked it, because I know once you block it, stitches kind of relax better, and you'd be surprised how much better a garment will fit once you block it. I always recommend blocking garments. Always, always, always. And you don't have to aggressively block it. Literally just letting it soak and then dry. It allows all the stitches to go where they need to and where they're supposed to go, and it'll help it fit better. I have a long sleeve sweater that I made that did not fit very well, and then I blocked it, and now it fits like perfect. So these designers know what they're doing, guys. We just have to trust them. So yeah, I got my little sleeves all done. You can see all of the decreases. I've got all my jewelry on there still from my decreases. But yes, so I'll show you in the next video how it fits. The length of the sleeve, it's just like this, little sweater that is not hand knit that I'm wearing. It just comes right to my wrist. It fits so nicely. I'm really excited with how it turned out, and the process of knitting it was just blissful. I can't say I'm going to cast one on, even though I'm very tempted to cast another one on right now. I really am. But I do want to work with something else. You know, I want to work on other projects that I have. One being another Andrea Mowry pattern. I know. The Weekender. I've talked about this before. I want to use my hand spun for this. I am working with some beautiful Gotland lamb fleece. It's super beautiful. It's like a oatmeal color. And this is my hand spun. I have 3 skeins of this so far. I definitely need a couple more. But this is what I'm going to make with it. It's the Weekender. I am probably going to be playing Yarn Chicken. I hope not, but I might be. It was like a 2.5 pound fleece or 2 3/4 pound fleece. So not a terribly big fleece. It's a lamb fleece after all, but I'm excited nonetheless. I think it's going to be a super cozy, soft and squishy sweater, and I'm here for it. Can't go wrong with a nice little oatmeal sweater. I feel like oatmeal is just the everything sweater. So it'll be like a sweatshirt, kind of. So that's why I am not going to cast on another Birch pullover, but I do recommend this pattern. It was a lot of fun to knit. It's not complicated. It does take focus though, and I do recommend putting in lifelines, because if you drop a stitch, it is quite confusing to try to figure out. It's called half fisherman's rib, is like the technique that's going on. And it's basically like, it's a tuck stitch, so it's like a brioche that you got going on here. And it can be quite confusing, you know, if you don't know what you're doing. So, and I'm new to this, so when I dropped a stitch, it was terrifying, to say the least. I was like, oh no, what am I gonna do? And yeah, it was not good. So for those of you that are new, I did have to put multiple lifelines on this, and I did have to rip back multiple times, because as I mentioned, it's very addicting. This pattern is very addicting, so when you get in the rhythm, you just keep going. And if you accidentally switch like your purls and your knit stitches, or it's a knit below stitch is what it is. If you accidentally switch that up, which it happens so easily because one of these rows is, I don't want to give it away, but there's a row where it's all the same type of stitch, and then the next row you're supposed to alternate again. And it is so easy to screw up that alternating. I did it so many times, like doing 2 purls to get like in a row or something, and I did multiple times, and then 4 rows later, I go, oh no, I had messed up 4 rows back. So I literally had to tink back 4 rows. And this is fingering weight and like basically a brioche stitch. It takes quite a bit of time to tink that back and get it back to where you want it to be. But it's worth tinking back, because if you just unravel it, it is very difficult to see where stitches are, and it's super easy, because I did it. It's super easy to drop a stitch 2 stitches. Like if you drop down one row, it's easy to drop one single stitch like 3 rows, and you didn't even realize until you put stitches back on your needle, and you're like, wait a minute, that one stitch is really long compared to the others, so something is wrong. And then you see you have multiple like floats basically behind that were the other stitches. So, and then you got to figure out, how am I going to recreate this kind of brioche stitch thing? Just trust me, it is complicated. So you don't want to do that. It's not a complicated pattern. It is not a complicated pattern, and it's not a complicated stitch. But if you drop a stitch, it is complicated to try to figure out how to fix it. At least for me, it is. If you are an expert at brioche, like fixing brioche, please leave a link to your favorite video to correct half fisherman's rib or anything, because I tell you what, I had the hardest time trying to figure that out. So I literally had to go back and restitch things because I didn't know how to fix the dropped stitch. It was just not happening for me. So, yes. So I didn't end up doing any hand spinning for my other project last weekend. This is what I worked on. I just kept knitting and knitting and knitting on my sleeve, and I finished it. I'm so excited. That was my goal. I really wanted to finish it so that I could wash it, block it, and then I could potentially wear it next week. That was my goal. So I did reach it, and I'm really grateful because I really wanted to do that. So that was pretty much it when it comes to, like I said, my works in progress this week. I didn't work on anything else. I had every intention of picking up other projects, and I'm just like, nope, I'm going to work on this. My lunch break, I worked on this. For the, maybe 5 minutes of knitting I did in the mornings, I worked on this. I just worked on this, and that was it. And I really enjoyed it. I didn't get bored of it. My biggest fear was towards the end of the week here. I was a little concerned that I might finish it and then I wouldn't have more knitting to do if I didn't bring a project with me. But I didn't even finish the knitting while I was at work, so it was totally fine. It was totally fine. So yeah, I have a couple projects around me right now that I need to finish up, to say the least. So I have a long-term project. It's it's my healing blanket. It is, I'm trying to remember the exact name of it. I have it right here. The Incredible Blanket by Pearl Soho. That's going to be a long-term project. I'm going to be working on that for a long time, but I want to work on that some more. I've got I think it's the Flower Path, Wildflower Path sweater by Melanie Hoffman. I'm looking at that over there. That's some new to den. I've got that I need to work on. I also have my half and half triangles wrap, which is right next to me, literally sitting next to me here on the floor. I need to work on that one. So I have lots of good projects to work on. I also have some socks I need to finish that I have also over here next to me. I just did not work on anything else. I really focused on the sweater. But I guess it goes to show when you do that, if you buckle down and focus on one project, you can get it done a lot faster than you think. Like this project, I would have gotten done, I think, a lot faster if I had just buckled down and worked on it. But I do like working on different types of projects because I also like working with my wool that I dye. I hand dye yarn. So this is not hand dyed by me. So it's fun and I love it. It's 100% non-superwash merino. It's really soft and fluffy and stretchy and wonderful. But, you know, it is not hand dyed. So I wanted to work with my hand dye too. So I usually like to kind of work on multiple projects at a time. So that way I can work a little bit with everything. I have quite a stash of wonderful yarn here. A lot of this over here is not hand dyed by me. I do have bins of partial remnants of items, like half skeins, minis, and all that stuff that I've worked on or worked with. And those remnants are in here, and many of those are actually hand dyed by me. But a lot of these other ones, like these in here, are not hand dyed by me. They're hand dyed by sometimes other indie dyers, and I have some crazy yarn in here from Stonehenge Fiber Mill, and then I also have some more Old Mill yarn, and there's so much, and I've got some wonderful wool down here. I just want to knit with it all. Do you guys ever deal with that problem where you want to just cast on all the projects? Part of me wants to cast on all the projects, but part of me also wants to finish projects. So I kind of want to focus on the projects that are currently at hand, and I do like to finish them. So, but I also just want to like work with the other yarn. Like I really just want to work with it. It's such a struggle. It is. I have a lot of turn you here. I have a lot. This is all wool fiber. So that's all fiber for hand spinning. So I need to do more of that myself too. But for that, I just do it for fun. When I get that little bee in my bonnet, it's really fun to do. It's very relaxing. But yes, I guess we'll segue into the life update end of things. As I mentioned, this is going to be a short video. So the lambs. So I did mention that we're going to be getting sheep. My goal. I'm not going to pretend that my husband is super excited about sheep. He's excited that I'm going to be happy with sheep. The sheep are more my thing than him, and I'm just really excited about it. So my goal is to get 3 sheep, probably 3 ewes. I don't think we're going to get a ram. I'm not opposed to getting a ram necessarily, but we've never had sheep before, so I'm kind of thinking start with the ewes and then get a ram, just because I'm not that familiar with having a ram. I have heard many different things about rams. It's not that I'm afraid of them, but I do, from my understanding, is you do have to have quite a respect for them, because you don't really want to turn your back on them. You don't want to do that kind of thing. Plus, we don't really have, we're still learning how to set everything up. We don't really have like a separate containment area for a ram, and I feel like if we were to get a ram, that would have to be separated from the ewes. I would prefer to get a ram with a wether, which is a male that's been a ram that has been castrated, so he cannot reproduce, but he's a really good buddy for a ram. So we're just not in the position to do that at the moment. But if you do have sheep and you do have rams, I would like to hear your opinion about having them. If you have any pointers, tips, things of that nature, it would just be really helpful. I really would like to know. Again, we're learning, and I'm not opposed to like learning as I go, but I prefer like not to learn the super hard way, especially having anyone get hurt. I don't want anyone or any animals to get hurt. That would not be good. So I'm trying to avoid that kind of thing from happening. So yeah. The primary reason we are getting sheep is for the wool. That is my goal. So I'm really excited. We have a local breeder here. She lives very, very close to me, and I get to go see the lambs soon. They're still lambing, so their multiple ewes are still going to be having their lambs, and she's already had a couple sets though come out, and they're so cute. She's had some triplets, some twins, and I'm really excited. A lot of rams. She has a lot of rams. Like, oh, they're so cute, but it is hard because we're really looking more for ewes at the moment. But she's got some cute rams. Like, they are really handsome looking little rams, let me tell you. Ram lambs. They're adorable. But the big thing is she still has a few more to go, so I don't know. I have some ideas of colors and things that I would like. They're like my dream. But I'm open to what's available. And my goal is to get some that I can use the wool as is, and then also mess with maybe doing some dyeing with some of it too. So that would be wonderful. And I love the fact that it's non-superwash. I really love it. I do like superwash. Much of my wool is superwash for Multifarious Nature, but I do have some that is non-superwash. It's Peruvian Highland wool, and I really, really, really like non-superwash for its own right, especially for doing sweaters and things of that nature. It just makes you really warm and cozy, and it traps air like none other, and it's great for color work. So I'm here for it. I'm so excited, you guys. If you cannot tell, I am so excited. I'm watching the birds losing their mind outside right now because they're cold, but they're hungry, and they're cold, and they think it's spring. They're not quite sure what's going on. Our plants think it's spring too because they're trying to come out of the ground, and I'm like, please stay under the dirt a little while longer, just a little. Goodness. Anyway, that's pretty much it for us. So again, we're still waiting till early March before we can get our lambs, and technically that's just for us to go purchase the lambs. We actually aren't going to be able to bring them home until I think it's April, because she usually goes like 10 weeks or so until she weans them so that they can go home with the families that purchase them. They are going to be registered. That wasn't necessarily something that had to be. I didn't necessarily feel like I had to have registered sheep, but she does register them for the Breed Conservancy, which I understand. It makes sense. It just, of course, there's definitely a higher price for registered sheep because, well, you can breed them, and there's a whole point to all of that. So, I would not we're not going to get into breeding. That is not on our docket. We do not have the room to do that. But have like breeding the sheep to produce more sheep, that then we could have more fleeces to choose from. I'm not opposed to that at some point, but I think I do agree that like we need to kind of like learn the process, how it goes, see how the first year goes, and go from there and evaluate and everything. But I'm excited about it. I really enjoy it. I feel a little bit like I'm just a go with stuff. I really enjoy making, creating, and living off the land, taking care of the animals, and I am here for it. So anyway, I hope you guys are having a wonderful week. I hope you are doing well, and I always appreciate all of your comments and feedback. It is so appreciated, and it just makes my heart sing anytime I hear from you guys, because it's kind of like this is my little community of fiber enthusiasts, because much of my family, my mom does like the fiber arts, and my sister, I think she wants to try to learn how to crochet, which is excellent. I want to suck her in so bad, so that way I have another fiber enthusiast in my life. But yeah, I don't have a lot of people in my life closely that are fiber enthusiasts. So it brings me a lot of joy to share that with you guys, and for you to share your love with me. So I look forward to chatting with you soon, and yeah, take care. And yeah, I'll chat with you next Thursday. Have a great rest of your week. Take care. Bye.